Hello, everybody. Nick Tachero, Professor of Information Technologies and Computer Science, Lakeland Community College. If you're watching this video, it is because you're probably taking a course that is using NDG NetLab, a virtual environment we use to deliver course content. And I've made this comment many, many times in the past, and that is if you just sit down and do the lab, you probably can get it done in about 10 to 15 minutes. But you're not going to accomplish anything. You'll accomplish the lab, you'll get your screenshots, you'll submit your thing, but you're not going to accomplish anything, meaning that you're not going to learn anything. I strongly, strongly encourage you to deep dive into the commands that are presented to you while you have access to the NDG server, while you can do these labs, after you've completed the labs, or actually during the process of completing labs. Take some deep dive into some of these commands that you may otherwise not see. Just completing the lab, yes, you're going to get done 10, 15 minutes. But if you're trying to accomplish a deeper understanding of the material provided, sometimes a simple command, you can deep dive into it and find some very, very interesting things with that. So with that being said, let's take a look at some of these programs. All right, let's take a look at Hashcat. Hashcat is another tool that is designed to compare hash values to password hash values. It's a little bit more robust, has some bells and whistles associated with it. And if we look at our screen, it is designed as an auditing tool, or sometimes you may hear it called a recovery tool. I'm not a big fan of the phrase recovery tool. I think it's more used as an auditing tool. A little bit more robust than other ones. For example, if you're familiar with John the Ripper, this one has a little bit more bells and whistles associated with it and other considerations. If you look up at my screen, again, I'm looking at a particular lab that we have a screen here or a list. Let's break these things down. And I do have the hashcat.net website over here, and there's a command as hashcat -force -m 1800 -a0 hashes3.txt mylist.txt, and those all mean something. So let's start off with the -force, and I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to look up what does -force mean. It basically tells us to ignore any warnings. All right. So if we were to run this and it maybe hits some kind of warning, it's just going to ignore those particular warnings. More importantly, we start getting into these items here. -m 1800. And if we look over here on this side of the screen, -m is the hash type. So you have to tell Hashcat what hash type is going to be used. And if I was to scroll all the way down into here, we have the different hash types, and 1800, let's do a search on 1800. There, nope, not yet. There you go. It's a SHA-512 crypt and a SHA-512 for Unix. So this is most likely the hashing algorithm associated with Linux or Unix. The -m 1800 says when Hashcat runs, use this type of hash value, the SHA-512 hash value. The -a0, and again, if I go up to, kind of skipped up there, -a is the attack mode. Now, if we go back over here to the wiki, and if we look up attack modes, the -a0 means it is a dictionary attack. If you watched or listened or are aware of the John the Ripper, that is another dictionary attack where the user has to create a dictionary file, and Hashcat will go through each one of the entries in that dictionary file, hash it, and compare the hash value that would be associated with the password file. Obviously, the bigger the dictionary, the better the chance you're going to come across a hash value, but the bigger the dictionary, the longer it's going to take. So dash A0 just means it is a dictionary attack. And here we would, and then the next line here, this hash3.txt, that is the hash file in which we're trying to crack. So that's going to have the values that we're aware of. And then finally, you have the last file here. In this particular case, it's called mylist.txt. That's your dictionary file. That's the one that you created that might have a couple hundred. The mylist is just a file that's going to contain the couple 100,000 different words that you're going to be hashing. So again, dash force, ignore any warnings. Dash M 1800, that says to use the SHA-512 hashing algorithm. Dash A0, that just means it's going to be a dictionary attack. This hash 3, it was basically whatever file you're supplying with the known hash values or the hash values in which you wish to crack. And then over here, the last item would be the file or the dictionary file in which you create, right? So again, a little bit of a deep dive here. At present, the Hashcat is not working for Lab 08, and I do apologize for that, but just kind of a little bit more deep dive into this. That being said, let's go and learn something.